And hello there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Good to see you. Paul Tranny here. We're going to dive into today's Internet Inspired. I'm so glad you are here. So welcome, everybody. Let me go ahead and share some hot stuff on the internet and the interwebs. I think it all makes sense. The title, because you can see right here as I share my screen. This is the tweet that we have. This is so funny from Sarah Lazarus. Did I just kill a plant, or did the plant not have what it takes to thrive in this fast-paced environment? Which is awesome. Isn't that funny? Did I kill a plant, or did the plant not have what it takes to thrive in this fast-paced environment? So this is super funny, right? We're just going to have some fun with this. Of course, we're going to like it because this is really hot. It's like trending right now, and that's what we do. We take trending stuff. You know what? We do our own fun, creative spin on it in Illustrator. So thank you so much, Michelle, Kiana, Alejandro, Sylvia, Edmund, and everyone. I'll jump into, sure enough, into Illustrator where I have this tweet, just so you know. And I do have a houseplant right here. We're going to do our own creative spin on it. I just like this. Did you offer the plant a competitive salary for a dynamic self-starter entry-level position with room for advancements? I just love this. Anybody have some dead house plants out there? I know I do. I don't have them down here, but they're all upstairs. That's for sure. So, all right, let's jump in here. So we're going to make some plants, and then we're going to give them some human-like characteristics. Like it's actually like maybe working at its home office, right? Because we need to find out, you know, what are the signs of your plant working in a high-paced working environment and all that stuff. So let's get it started. I'll turn that off, turn this on. We'll start a new layer. I have resources out here too, so like house plants, right? It's like a lot of these. These are fun. I could just like, you know, maybe take some of these, drop them in here, right? These are just my little resources. That's all I'm doing. My little resource plants. Does anybody else have succulents that they maybe can't keep alive? Yeah, succulents. Why can't I keep them alive? I don't know. All right. Just dropping in some images. All right. Let's take this. Yeah, so you do have a plant. Gianna says has a plant that is currently in a performance improvement plan. That's good. Yeah, so you guys getting your ROI on your plants? Let's go ahead and make some. So I just kind of dropped these in here. These are just like my resources that I'll typically use. Like this plant. I don't know what this plant is called. But we can make those plants. We could jump out. We can make like a quick leaf. So I'll jump in here. Let's change this color. Get into this nice. I'm going to do a nice teal. Hey, why not? And we'll move this over here too. Like so. Let's open up my appearance panel as well, because we will use that. Yeah, we could jump in and make a quick leaf. Let me actually change the color of the highlight to medium blue so we can kind of see everything a little bit better. Okay, so there it is. We could grab the opposing corners, bam, bam, zoop, and bring them in like this. So I just made like a quick leaf, just one way of doing things, right? Take that leaf. Let's make a couple of them. Let's maybe give it a little bit more character, actually. Let's just like give this a little bit more character. It definitely needs it. So let's go ahead and add a stroke to it, right? Maybe it'll be like a little bit darker, but still within that same vein, if you will, because there are going to be veins here. So let's hit N for pencil. Okay, we're going to draw something out now. And again, we're going to just make our fun little plant. Zip. There's our lovely little line, right? We can actually just go with a straight line too, right? It could be like that simple. If we reference our plan up here, it's going to have different highlights. So I need to make sure I include that in here as well. One leaf, fresh out of college. That's right. So let's actually do that. Let's add that nice highlight. Let's get rid of that, get rid of that. Basically split this in half. And then let's make this side a little brighter. There we go. Let's move this over. Up. Kind of like that. That looks more like a leaf. Right, for this little ridge here in the center. Let's take this, maybe make it a little thicker, but also just adjust this width profile so it's thick and then thin. Cool. We got it done. Here's our leaf. Let's move on. Right? Let's take this. Zip. Let's make a couple of them. Drag them down. Rotate them. Move them over. No, we don't want to rotate them. We want them to be... actually, we want to flip them. There we go. Vertically. There we go. That's what we want. Let's give add the branch, if you will, to this lovely plant. Like so. There it is. Now, you ready for this? Afroja and Ursin. Excuse me, Ursin. There we go. I got it right. But I want to take this path, and I'm going to actually duplicate it. I'm going to add 2 strokes right in here. So we're going to have one stroke that's this darker green, and then the stroke on top is going to be a lighter green. Right? So this one's going to add like the highlight. See what it does there? But the reason is I actually have, one vector line, as you can see, but it looks like it contains multiple elements. Okay. Again, not crazy about that color. I got to fix it. Let's fix it. It's so electric. Like that. There we go. And then let's fix this a little bit more, shall we? Maybe it's abstract and these leaves are floating, or what we can do is we can use the pencil tool and draw little offshoots, kind of, so it's coming out of the that main like stalk there. Cool. All right, we did it. Let's take all these. Let's move them to the back, and then we're done. Okay, we're done. We've done this work. You guys got it? From here, we'll go ahead and make this a brush. Right, here's all my awesome brushes. Take this. We'll drop it right in here. Bam, there it is. Sure enough, we're going to make this a pattern brush like so. Click OK. Done. Give it auto center, like the curves like that. We'll click OK. And now we have our little, as I select it, are leaves that we've made, right? So we're halfway there. This is really good. And let me turn this on, because since I'm going to start drawing with this leaf brush, I want to turn off New Art Has Basic Appearance. I'm going to turn that off, and now we can go ahead and drag this around. You're noticing the top is not that great. Like, look what the top looks like. Right? It's kind of not that cool. I can take this, and for this brush, I can change the uniformity of it, and I can have it get thinner at the top if I want to. Something kind of like that. That might work in some cases, but I actually want to add an end. So like a head and a tail. So I'll take that, I'll duplicate it, and then I'll adjust this line. Michelle, you were so nice. Thank you so much. I think I have some fun brushes and stuff, so thanks for that. We'll narrow that down. Oh, this is where it's going to get interesting. Wait for it. Wait for it. Let's have it narrow down. There we go. We got it. We did it. Look at that. So good. Right? So we just made the top, right? And we could still adjust these. The key thing is like be very careful. Like always make sure everything's like kind of like the same size. So, you know, just you got to make sure everything lines up correctly. And that's the biggest problem. There we go. There we go. So we just made our end, right? We could do the same thing with the bottom, but I'm not going to worry too much about that. I will select this. I'm going to go to my swatches. All right, here's my swatches. And then I'm just going to, let's just change this show pattern swatches. I'm going to take this, I'm going to drop it in here. So I just made this nice little pattern right here. That's called New Pattern Swatch 3. Yeah, we'll just leave it as that default name. But now let's go in there and let's add it to the end. Zoop. Right up here, you can see all my patterns. We'll go down to the one I just made. There it is, New Pattern Swatch 3. Boom. There it is. We've added it. We'll click OK. Apply to strokes. Bam. Look at that. Now you can see that it kind of has that pointy end. I don't even know if I want that pointy end. Do you have any simple approaches for adding tiny plant veins on leaves? I would just use the pencil, so I don't know if I really have anything. I would just like pretty much just draw out those little plant veins, which is what I'd probably want to do here. So I can create a more advanced brush if I want to. So I'll duplicate that, have it down here, and we could do exactly what you said. I would hit the end, so I'd use pencil. I would, the veins are going to be maybe a little bit lighter. Okay, so here's what I have. I take this, turn off new art has basic appearance, and then I'm just going to make sure it has, I don't know. I would play with the width profiles, to be honest with you. Zoop. You know, it's going kind of like that. That looks pretty good. The ones on this side, so I'm going to draw this out. Move this over. This one might be even a little lighter. So we'll take that. We'll make that a little lighter. Hit N. And I'm just using my mouse. So there we go. We have it. We have our lovely veins. When in doubt, doodle it out. I like that, Penny. Penny, you got what's going on. It's exactly what I would do. So yeah, we have those, and we can make that version. Cool. So that's all I would do. Again, I kind of have to select all these and do all that stuff, duplicate it, all that stuff. I already have some brushes. I think I actually already have some brushes in here. Let's check out the ones that I've already made. So let's check out this one. Ooh, look at this guy. So I just dragged it out. Oh, same concept, right? You have a lighter end, a thinner, a brighter end, darker side of the leaf, the different like branches. Let's look at this one. This one has veins done the same way, right? So you got all these cool, crazy plants. So many plants. right? Different colors. Let's look at this one. Ooh, this one's nice. Kind of getting Christmas vibes from this one, right? But there's quite a few that you can end up making. We can try putting the veins darker than the leaves. Yeah, maybe they should be darker. Yeah, I think you're right. I think they should be darker. I like right here, it doesn't look quite right. This looks a little chunky. But we do have all of our lovely plant branches. So let's go ahead and make our plant. Oh, what color would this be? We'll just go with a dark sort of taupe. But we can make our planter. That's all I'm doing right here. Maybe something kind of like that. Who knows, right? Yeah, it's okay. Let's actually have some more fun with this. You ready for this? I think this will be cool. I'm going to take this. I'm going to cut off the ends. Actually, I'm going to group this. You ready for this? This is going to be awesome. Boom, boom, boom. Combine it. Let's get rid of these points, this point. Taking this, lining it up. Hopefully these are snapping into place. Actually, let's take this, bring them in. Anybody have any thoughts on what I'm going to do? Well, I'm going to take this and I'm going to go into 3D materials and I'm going to revolve it. So let's take that, let's revolve it to make that like vase or the plant holder. And here's my plant holder, right? Easy enough. I didn't have to worry about doing all that shading, which is awesome. And you know what? I could just do a front appearance. So now it still has that flat look and then I can change the lightings. Maybe the lighting comes from like the other side, kind of like that. But I like how I have all this lighting. I don't have to worry too much about it. It looks pretty darn good. Right? Maybe it's a little dimensional, right? I can use diffuse color. That kind of makes it look like less 3D, maybe a little bit more flat, but that works for me. All right. But yeah, there we have that. We have our plant, our little, I don't know, we call this a vase? Sure. We have our vase. We have our plant. And let's get to creating. I'll take this, copy it. Let's actually maybe turn off this other stuff. We still have our tweet right here. And then we can start using our brushes. There we go. Bingo. Brushes. Yes, a pot. Man, what is wrong with my brain, Lionel? I had the hardest time thinking of the word pot. You mean pot, Paul? Yeah, I mean a pot. Oh man. Oh, I need help. Right, but we can make it look bigger, right? That's actually kind of cool. We'll hit N again, so we'll draw out with the pencil. Like here's our other version. Zip, zip, like that. You get the idea. Zip. I could have these all tinted a little bit of like tinted a certain color. So let's take all of these. Let's take this one is going to be, you know, a different color. This one's going to be a different color. This is what I want to do. I want to go in here and I'm going to say for that green color, go ahead and shift it different tints and shades. So look what's happening now. See what's happening? This is our before and this is our after. So we could start to control the coloring of these. So I like that. This is just tints and then here's a hue shift. But tints and shades gives me what I want. right? Apply that to the strokes. Obviously, this is too bright. Hey, I'm not going to worry about that. I can kind of dial that in, you know, just so it's like a little bit different color, right? Same thing for this one, right? Is it like maybe a little bit, you know, maybe a little brighter green, something like that, right? Super cool, so easy to do. All right, so let's take a look at this tweet. Did I kill a plant, or did the plant just not have what it takes to thrive in this fast-working environment? I kind of wanted to give the plant some human characteristics, like it's actually sitting at a desk and doing some of that stuff. So that's what I was thinking. You know, maybe it could use some arms. Maybe there's actually a plant like in the shape of a person. So we need to make some fun eyes. So let's do that. Oh, look at how cool that is, by the way. That's that brush. It's the magic of a brush. So sweet. Let's reduce this down. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm going a little long. This takes some time, but I'm glad you guys are here. Fiona, I see you. What's happening? Good to see you. We'll make these eyes, by the way, right? Here's one eye. We'll copy, we'll paste on top. We'll shrink this down. Zoop. We'll flip it, you know, and make an eye. So with this eye also needs to have like a little bit of a highlight. So we'll just add a white to do something like that. There's our eyeball. Okay. Looks a little freaked out, and that's because that pupil is so small in there. So we could always change that by just making the overall eye just like a little bit smaller. And if we want a variation in the stroke, we could do something like that. So that kind of makes it look a little bit like it has like an upper eyelid and a lower eyelid. Is we could play with the width tool. So here it's like we can make the width thinner on the outsides here, but then thicker like on the top and bottom. Something like that, just like looks a little bit more interesting. And also we can jump in here and add a little fun with this. You ready for this? So I've just done all this work. This is also what I'm thinking about. You ready for this? I'm going to just try this, because ultimately what everybody tries to do with a show all swatches, when they add gradients, essentially what you're trying to do is you're trying to mimic, you know, 3D anytime you use a gradient. That's what I'm doing here. Change that to white. Change this. Go in here. We'll go into hue, saturation, brightness. I'm just going to pick a medium gray. So I just made this eyeball. This actually is not bad, but let's do this. Basically what we just learned about, you know, sort of the shading over here. I did this quick shading. But what if I actually made like an eyeball? Zoop. That is 3D. So we'll take this. Let's get rid of that. Let's make this just some sort of a gray color. But let's go take this curve that I have right now, and we're going to go ahead and do the same thing. Is we're going to revolve it around the right edge. And then here is like our eyeball. So we go and add maybe diffuse lighting or standard lighting, but also let's change the color, because there it is. It's supposed to be white, and now you can see that like highlight. And again, I didn't have to try to, you know, make my own gradients to kind of make this sphere. It seems easier to just kind of deal with the rotation and the height to get the shading that you want. And it just looks so good, right? You ready for this, Afroja? Ready for this? This is going to be awesome. I'm going to take this now. You ready for this? Hope you guys are enjoying yourselves. I'm making my plant. I'm going to take this and I'm going to go to my 3D object, and then I'm going to go into the materials. So yeah, I can make it more metallic, by the way, and like shinier, which is cool. If you take down the roughness, you know, you'll start to see that highlight in the center a little bit more. So I could play with those base properties. But what I want to do is I want to take this and I'm gonna drop it in here into the graphics. So now I just have this one graphic that I can now apply to by clicking to that 3D object. So check this out now. We'll go to, again, this graphic, we'll select it, and now we can kind of like move it around as if it's like on that actual eye, which I think is really cool, and resize it and all that fun stuff. So anyways, there's our fun 3D eye. Just for kicks, we have 2 options, and we could start to put them in place and see which one looks better, right? We almost have 2 different styles going on right now, by the way. This one and this one. I kind of like the cartoon eyes, to be honest with you. Is that cool? How to do time management as a digital artist, or just as a person in general, right? How do we do time management? That is a good question. I'm going to try something really cool. I think this is going to be really fun. You ready for this? This is going to be just, I think this will be fun. I'm going to take and make and I just had this thought. I'm like, oh, I want to kind of, you know, make a mouth. So we'll make this mouth. We'll draw a line right here in the center. Make this mouth in a similar way. The mouth could use a little bit of shading. But yeah, let's just do this. Let's make this gray here. I'm just going to do this really fast. And this will just be like our first attempt at a mouth. But this will be fun. So I'll take this. I'm going to turn this into a brush. Just like we did before. Bam! There's our brush. It's going to be a pattern brush. Right? Actually, no, it's not going to be a pattern brush. It is going to be let's drop it in here, an art brush. And art brushes it's actually going to stretch the width of the line. That's what this art brush does. And this is going to be the teeth. Okay, so let's draw with it now. There it is at the top. There it is. Selecting it, drawing out. Wait for it. There it is. And now what we're going to do is we're going to change the width profile. So anyways, just kind of seeing if this is going to work. Whoop. There it is. Let's take this. Let's delete that. Here's our mouth. And then let's change the width profile to something like that. And again, I could add shading and all of that stuff as well. Hello there, Virginia. Awesome. So you guys got it. Got the mouth. It needs some arms. It needs like, you know, I could probably grab a pencil, right? Make a pencil. Could do that the same way with 3D. But I'm just going to make this stuff and I'm, you know. Make that number 2 pencil. Like so. Something like that. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. Probably what I would do is I would go grab elements. Muriel, hopefully that works for you. I don't know what Jai Shri Ram means. Like, what are you trying to get me to say? Like, what does that mean? Tell me what that means. But yeah, there we go. We got it. We got it. We got it. We got it. You guys get the idea. Pencil, all that good stuff. Lauda, I am streaming on YouTube. I'm streaming on Facebook. I'm streaming on LinkedIn and Twitter. So kind of all over the place. If you don't see me answering to, maybe a tweet that, you're not seeing the same thing I am, that's probably why. All right, here's our plant. Yeah, what does it need? Anything else? Oh, it's an Indian god. Okay, good to know. So yeah, this is what we have. I still want to kind of, give this plant some more like human characteristics and make it more like work related. Like, use some fun words like ROI or, maybe it needs a clipboard. It needs some just more stuff in general. Where you can get a lot of this stuff, by the way, rather than drawing everything, go to Adobe Stock, type in free, and then let's do Office. Let's just do Office Desk, maybe Office Desk. And we're going to search for all the free stuff out there under Office Desk. And you know what? We're going to make it vectors because we just need some basic elements. I don't have to create everything. So again, searching for Office stuff. Oh, yeah. Boom. Here's something we can go ahead. And by the way, this should be free. So just hit license. Yes, so that's all I'm doing. Let's download that. Download all our fun assets. Even this right here is perfect. So we'll re-download that as well and use it. So super easy and free. So hopefully you're into that, Fiona. All right. Let's take our plant, copy it, bring it into this fast-paced work environment. Pasting it on in. Let's make sure my preferences are going to scale corners and strokes and effects and all that stuff. So now we can shrink it down. Put it on this desk, and then obviously change it to match this environment. Because ultimately, it's kind of not quite matching it, is it? Right? Because look at this. All this line work doesn't have any strokes. So I'd need to make sure my content pretty much has the same thing. So let's just see what happens if I expand appearance of this 3D object. Okay, I'm probably not going to make a photo manipulation like Benny Production. But thanks for the feedback. So here this is. Yeah, we can take this. I'm just simplifying it. I want to make it match this other artwork here. So that's what I'm doing right now. Let's make it match, just like so. And there's our plant. In fact, what we'll do is we will group all of these. There we go, one single object. And let's just change it a little bit more because maybe it should be something more like that color. Okay, cool. You guys get the idea. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this. There's my plant. And I'll probably continue to add to it today. It is turning out to be quite adorable, but it does need a little bit more work. And yeah, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'll continue to like personify it, like make it look more like a person, maybe throw some arms in there. Maybe it shouldn't be, and that's why I did this as a stroke, by the way. Because now that this is a stroke, this mouth is a stroke, it's like really easy to take and manipulate. So, you know, if he's having like a bad day or something, I can always change that stroke, obviously changing the look of it. You guys get the idea. Right? Because he is awfully happy for being at work. Right? But he's thriving. You get the idea. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'm going to continue to work on this. Appreciate you, Stony and Lauda and Afroja and Michelle. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and making this fun. I'll continue to work on my lovely plant. Of course, based on this lovely tweet. It says right here. Switch over. Did I kill a plant, or did the plant not have what it takes to thrive in this fast-paced environment? So I'm going to continue to work on that plant. Thank you so much for watching me. I'm going to let everybody go. Thank you so much for tuning in and hanging out with me. This is Internet Inspired. My name is Paul, and thank you guys for hanging out. We'll see you guys all soon, and watch for my stuff on social media. Thanks.